This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online platform that helps you find a therapist that will match your needs. BetterHelp offers live video chats, open discussion, conversations with real therapists in real time if that's what you need. I personally love it and have used it now for almost 2 years. I would really recommend, if you need someone to talk to that is not in your family or your friend circle, that you reach out to betterhelp.com and you will receive 10% off if you use my code BGP. So again, that's betterhelp.com/BGP to find the right online counselor for you. Hi, welcome to Big Girl Pants Podcast, where we talk about health, wellness, careers, parenting, relationships, and everything in between. I am your host, April Melton. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome back to Big Girl Pants Podcast. I'm really excited, first of all, to be back. Thank you guys for all of your patience. Having a child is tough, so, we're getting there. But I have a very special guest today, my very near and dear hairstylist and also friend. I've known her since I was 12 years old. Amanda Victoria Jordan. Hello, Amanda.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome.
We sound very sultry, like jazz singers or something today.
Oh, I love it.
I know.
First time caller, long time listener. But really.
First time caller. You're like, no, we really talk about my podcast in our hair appointments, and then we talk about all the other things too.
Yeah, it's a great way to keep up with you and catch the insight that you provide.
Oh, do I provide insight?
Yes.
What the fuck do I know? Who the fuck cares? No, I'm really excited to have you on today for two things. Obviously, since most of the women who listen to my podcast really give a fuck about their hair, as we all do, I want to talk about some things hair, but then I also want to talk about some recent life events for you. Mm-hmm. And a lot of my listeners know, too, that I went through some also same recent life events. So I am looking forward to that, too.
Amazing.
In the meantime, I did wash my hair today, and I used the K18, but only one pump.
And that was good for you?
And that's good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Is that good for you?
Yes.
You're the boss. You tell me what to do.
The thing is, people tend to overuse it, and it's a very expensive product. It comes in 1.7 ounces. Yeah. So
I know. How much does it cost? $50?
Yeah. And so it's important.
That's like weed prices.
Right?
Just kidding.
Well, and it's good when people know you don't have to overuse it because.
What is it anyway? Doesn't it is it bond repair or what is it?
Yeah. Well, it's really its own science. It's I think Bond is Olaplex's. Their K18 is science.
Okay.
So it's a treatment. It's supposed to build the structure of your hair and all that. I don't want to act like I'm a scientist.
You're not a scientist. Okay. You're a hairstylist.
Yes.
It's
okay. But it's a treatment.
For your use and your preference, since you deal with hair day in and day out, do you prefer K18 over other products?
Yes.
Also, I'm going to need to get this episode sponsored by K18. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh, right? Yes, we love you, K18.
We love you.
We really, really do.
Feel free to send us some product. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so how long have you been doing hair?
Okay, so it would be 17 years this.
Bro, that's like a whole adult.
Yeah, because
are we old enough?
We're
for
coming.
That?
I know. I'm because we're gonna come up soon on 20-year graduation. That
vomit. Yes. Okay,
yes, kick in the stomach.
All right,
for real.
40. Here we come.
Yes. No. When I say it,
I know it hurts.
And I'm like,
it hurts, but then I look at the mirror and I'm like, damn, what's up, 40?
Really? I mean, there's a lot to look forward to now.
I know.
But when I say I've been doing hair for 17 years, I'm like, there's no way.
Hairstylist who?
There's
Me?
no way.
I know.
So, yeah, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, totally. And talking
living
and standing.
And gossiping.
I know. And gossiping. That's not even work. What are you talking about? So you've been doing hair for 17 years. Obviously, where is your salon?
we're recording this episode in Dallas. So where are you located?
I am in Grapevine.
Perfect.
Yes.
Central.
Yes.
It's central for all the ladies listening who are local.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that about my location because if you're traveling to me,
Yes.
I'm right off the highway. You're not like
perfect.
driving through town. So that so perfect.
And you're not in like a high rise, so you don't have to like deal with any of that stuff. Like you're readily available and also easily located.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you've been there for how long now in that suite?
In the suite that I'm currently in, I've been in there for 4 years.
Yeah.
But I've been there for 10. Wow. I mean, I've had,
Whole
separate.
decade.
Wow.
I know. We're old. It's great.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes. No, that's it. Even just say that
10
I've
years, dude.
done my own thing for 10 years is
A decade.
yes.
What?
And I'm just realizing now that my new dog has
Oh, he chewed your shoe.
He
It's all right,
loves a good shoe.
Nobody's gonna look at it or judge your torn or untorn
But I was
shoe.
doing it,
Nobody
like,
cares.
You could probably see the horror in my face realizing
You're
it.
like, wow, how embarrassing.
Yes.
Trying to be chic with all my all black clothes.
Yeah.
My dog chewed up my shoe.
Yeah. So
all right. What's
relatable.
his name? Dan?
Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Maybe Spike. I've been told by a lot of people that Dan is actually a great name.
It is. It's one syllable. It's 3 letters. Like, it's super easy.
Yeah, and you can do like Dan with a Mano.
And all the nicknames.
Yes.
So, 10 years in this location, but 17 years as a whole.
Yes.
How do you feel about box color?
You know, such a loaded question.
It's so loaded.
Controversial, too.
Very.
Yeah. There are a lot of great options out there now where it's not just like
Yeah, your L'Oreal or
you're not
your
trying to get
Revlon
platinum
or your
blonde,
right.
With the box color. And in this economy, like
You're like, I get it.
Yeah, Justin Anderson actually has a really great line that is at Ulta, and it's like kind of a in between color service root touch up for the, like everybody has a budget, so like I just like when people are really honest and like, hey.
Yes.
This is what I'm looking at.
Right.
This is what and we can go over options from there. But, honestly, these days I don't want to down anybody for.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily down. I don't think it's down. Here's what I'll say. I've watched like a lot. Everybody's on social media, but
right.
I've seen a lot of influencers talk about it. Even like Carly Bible, she talked the other day about like how she would do her own box color with like Garnier, what is it, Oleo or whatever. Obviously, they probably sponsored the post and sponsored the reel, but like,
correct.
She did box color on her hair, and she's like, I've been coloring my own hair. So like, there's a time and a place, I guess, but also it's like for that woman who wants to do her own hair color at home or who feels confident. I am not that person. I am the person who will outsource every single thing in my life if I'm capable, meaning my hair. I'm also notoriously terrible about not booking ahead and scheduling appointments. But
hey, we actually do have you on a great routine now.
We're working on it. Baby steps, baby.
I mean, I have seen Kyle Richards even
Shut up.
Like,
use box color?
Well, like I think it's a sponsored,
same.
post like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are some women that really need to touch up their grays like every 2 weeks.
I know, dude.
And so like if you're
that shit's so
and so if you say you're Kyle Richards, maybe you can't get to the salon. So it's such a minimal amount,
Yeah, and it's just like your roots.
Right. Yeah. So like it's so different from who we're talking about. You can't go get a root touch up with what we do for you, like from a box.
Yes.
But there's a time and a place for it. Yeah. And
Look at you being on PC with your response. You're like, I'm not going to talk shit about anybody. Okay. So I've also seen some girls on TikTok talk about like how drugstore shampoo with the silicones and parabens and all that stuff, and like how that's actually not bad for your hair. Do you feel like those are also sponsored? Because I feel like that information could be misleading for both color treated hair or any kind of treatment you've done to your hair, right? Because there's not a lot of people that have virgin hair still.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, so I love that you brought this up. I see people say all the time, you know, when I was in high school, I used nothing but Pantene and Mane and Tail, and I had the longest and thickest hair in the sea.
You were also 17, bro.
Yes, exactly. That was your virgin hair. That was your hair before, you know, kids, this, that, and the other.
Life, stress, age.
Yes. So
hormones.
They're not too really comparable. Yeah. But you know, like I do think that there are gonna be things that are better than others. Yeah. And everybody has a budget. Yeah. I always tell people like a sure way is like go for the Ulta leader cells because like that's when you're gonna, you know, but yeah, no, I there's a TikToker that I really enjoy and she loves Pantene.
Yes,
and
it's the same girl. I think it's the same girl.
Is it the trifecta girl?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. She's really cute. I enjoy, see, and
I like her. I like watching her videos because they're very entertaining, but they're also informative. Yes. And she says, "Yes, I love Pantene, but every hair washing video, is not Pantene."
Right. Okay. Right. So I kind of.
She even brags about using Living Proof, I think.
Yes. Yeah. So I think it kind of goes with you like with skincare, right? Yes. Like you can't compare with, you know, like these $200 retinol creams that are
vitamin C's,
right. You get what you pay for a lot of times, but like of course, like we love to have a drugstore option. Dupe. Yes.
Let me get a dupe, bitch.
Yeah. Let me get a dupe. All day, every day.
Well, and we're all balling on a budget too. So it's like, man, you know, like how can I afford the top of the line skincare, the top of the line hair care, the top of the line clothes, the top of the line this, makeup, you know, everything. And
absolutely.
As women, we're like 80% of the purchasing power in our homes. So like we're the ones who see the budget. We're the ones who, you know, are considerate and also cautious about spending, but we also want to look nice and we don't want to look old.
Yes.
As we approach 40.
Correct.
And I get it. You don't. I appreciate your ability to be PC. I think for a lot of the listeners too, it's like, what are some? And you can just say it again. I'm literally about to pitch all these brands so they can sponsor this episode. Yes. But what are some trusted brands that you like? Like, let's say your, you know, your good general lines, and then your middle of the road, and then your high end.
Okay. So. Right now, I'm loving Color Wow. Everything.
Dude, everything.
And
He's a genius.
Yes. So good. Everything about it. And I feel like it's pretty middle of the road price. Like I wouldn't consider it
super high.
Right. Yeah. Right. And I also feel like you can get like 3 products with them and cover a lot. Like you don't need, you know, a whole kitchen under your bathroom sink full of products.
Yeah. But, you don't need the whole Sephora underneath your bathroom.
Right. I mean, but like, let's say you're on an unlimited budget type, you know, you're bougie girl, like Orbe.
Bruh.
Yeah.
The best. Even Brittany in her drunken stupor or whatever she is, she's always talking about Orbe.
Yeah.
She's like, I just tried this hairspray. You guys got to get it. She's nuts, dude. She's nuts. I feel so bad for her. I love her so much.
You've always done such a good, like, Brittany. Yeah, so.
She's crazy, man. I feel so bad because that's like, she's our age. I mean, she's a little bit older, but still, she's like 40-something. Travesty.
Not enough time to even.
Not even. I know. I know. We need like 3 more hours.
Right.
So Orbe is your top of the line.
Yes. So and then you got Color Line, which I would say that's my favorite right now. That's
Color Wow.
Dream Coat.
Oh, so good. I used it today.
Color Wow.
I know my hair's not looking like 1,000%, but I did use that today.
It's amazing.
So good.
Yes. And then I would say Redken if like Of course, there are like more, and I'm not saying Redken's bottom of the line either.
No,
but I feel like you can go to Ulta and you can get, you know, what you need under $50 type situation.
And that's good. Yeah. And if you're taking proper care of your hair, like if you're not washing it every single day, or if you're extending the life of your washes with dry shampoo, or making sure you blow dry your hair after you get sweaty, like all those tips, you can really extend the washes. So it's like you can go for a little bit more of an expensive shampoo if you train your hair properly. Because I wash my hair maybe once a week.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, don't Don't go by me, because I'd be looking ratchet as hell sometimes with these buns at the gym and all that stuff. So
and like it's used to each their own on that, because some people, like my sister, like she looks like a grease ball by the end of the day. Like she has to wash her hair every day, but like you don't have
she has
that
super
problem.
fine hair.
Yes, and there's just some people like they look dirty if they don't.
I
so
know.
it's to each their own. But like we were talking about the other day, I feel like the greatest tip that gets left out is dry shampoo on clean hair.
Yes.
The first day, so you're prepping your hair from like absorbing all the sweat.
And you're prepping your hair when your hair is like the cleanest it's going to be. And then like, for me, like after I work out, I make sure to like blow dry as soon as like I get home, or as soon as I get near my blow dryer, and then blow dry it like especially the roots, because that's what gets the sweatiest. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And I look homeless.
Also,
I'm aware. I know what I look like. Okay.
But I also think like something I see a lot is breakage around the face, and that's from like our mom buns, the get shit done bun, where
it's right on top.
You tie it on top of your head, and then maybe it's 3 days.
You sleep in it.
Yeah,
you
like
wake up in it.
You're home for the weekend.
You go back to sleep in it.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Speaking of the mom bun, what are some hair ties that you hate when people use? I won't say hate. What are some hair ties that are less beneficial than others?
You know what? And I know I've seen you do this before. When people use an office rubber band on their hair.
Not an office rubber band.
Yes.
I don't know that I've ever done that. Maybe one time.
Yeah. And maybe I scolded you that
I was chastised, so then I was forever scarred.
Yes.
PTSD from a real rubber band.
But like the cord ones, which like
the telephone cord ones.
Yes, I love.
They're so cute.
Well, and like they're great for when you want to tie your hair up.
Yeah.
It's just like keeping it sleeping like that.
Yes.
Like the tension, you're just breaking it off. But I get it.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. But also, I think those are great for like a low ponytail or a loose ponytail, not the tight high buns.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's what you see people do the most with them, I think, is like you wrap it around like 18 times and you want to like everywhere.
And you want to.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
All right.
So good.
Fix your hair. You got like a little bang action going.
Actually adjust. I think I'm on backwards.
It doesn't matter. Either way. I don't think it has a side, but I don't know either way.
That's more comfortable.
It's so funny. Okay, so we've talked a couple things hair. What kind of clients do you work with?
I don't want to say everything because it's not everything. I love blondes always.
Okay.
Always.
The Dallas blonde.
Yeah.
It's pretty typical.
I mean, and then I love a lived-in. I love a brunette. I love anything with color. Like I
you
love
love
to
color.
do it all.
Yeah.
I love to like do a full transformation. I see a lot of TikToks where they're like, would you rather do 9 haircuts in a row or 8-hour color correction? And I'm like, yes, give me the 8-hour color correction.
Really? 8 hours?
Well, no, that's not something I normally do, but like a typical, like somebody who is quarterly, say, getting their hair done.
Yeah.
It'd be like a 4-hour thing.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, and that's why you hear hairstylists now complaining about
Price.
Right, because back in the day, you come for an hour and a half, and
$100, $150, whatever.
Right, and you're in and out. But now, like it's elevated so much more.
Of course,
it's so funny. My husband's like, it takes all that time to make it look lived in.
You're like yes. Don't ask questions, sir.
They could never. They could never understand.
They could never. The only man who could is like Chris Appleton. Let's be real. He gets it. I know.
Though, Lucas Gage was on Watch What Happens Live, and he said, and this is the biggest dig you could take at a hairstylist.
What'd he say?
He said that his hair had never looked worse than when him and Chris Appleton were together. That was
savage.
Yes.
You're my hairstylist, and I was like, oh my God, my hair has to look good if my hairstylist is coming on my podcast.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I was telling my coworker, I was like, he really knew what he was doing.
Oh, for sure.
Digging the knife in when he said that.
What a jerk.
Oh my God. I mean, but can you imagine?
Absolutely not.
The egos on that.
But it's the same as like dating like a makeup artist, you know?
Right.
And then walking around with like a bare face.
But I mean,
and not that you can't.
Right.
But like your husband is a makeup artist.
And Kim Kardashian is his best friend.
Right.
So
what?
Yeah.
What?
I know.
I bet she probably was like a little birdie in his ear, like, you need to start a hairline. Just like Mario, you need to start makeup. Like, you need to do this. You need to do that.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, for sure. She's like, make a business out of this shit. What are you doing?
For sure. I've always wondered also if she backed Jen Atkins.
Oh, for sure. Yes, you know, absolutely.
That's what you say what you will about Kim, but she did take all of her friends to the top with her. Yes.
Yes. Yes. And she was like, and I'm about to get that money.
Yeah. She gets everybody the 10%,
10% equity. In all of them companies. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay, so if someone wants to come get their hair done by you, how do they find you?
Oh, okay. Well, if you personally know April, you can always get my information.
Did you get that text I sent you the other day?
Yes.
Did you get that girl? Okay,
yes.
Perfect.
But
she literally saw me at dance, like at Chloe's dance class. She was like, who does your hair?
Oh.
I was like, oh my God, my friend Amanda.
See, and that right there is like the way best. I love to get
the most compliment.
Yes.
She was like, I love your layers. She's like, I really need a haircut. I just had a baby like 9 months ago. I've not had a haircut. I've not had my hair done, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, girl, you have to go see my girl.
See, that's the type of situation I love. However, what I don't love
is
one of my clients one time, and she's an older woman, and she was coming out of Target, and somebody approached her, and they're same thing.
Yeah.
Where do you get your haircut?
Yeah.
So she gave her my information, and at the time I was on vacation.
Oh, yeah.
And she blew my phone up, and she left me a voicemail along the lines of, she said, hey, I saw your client. She said, I want you to cut my hair this week, maybe Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
And if it goes good, then I'll let you color my hair.
You're like, okay.
And
all right.
I was already thinking like,
no way.
Absolutely not. This is not a situation. And because I was on vacation, I hadn't responded. And then she sent some crazy message like, if you're not taking new clients, then at least refer me out. Or I was like, wow, like,
okay, lady.
Yeah. So no, but I love when a situation like that happens.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like I get my.
You should definitely be giving out to first-time people too. You should be giving out your phone number and your email, or just your email, and then do your pre-booking through your email, because that way no one's gonna get pissed off at an email.
Right.
And you could even potentially set up an email that goes out immediately as soon as somebody sends you an email. You say, hey, thank you so much for your interest in my services. I'll be back with you, blah, blah, blah. 2 to 5 business days. Yeah. So that way nobody gets pissed off.
Yes.
And you get to get back with them within your time frame.
Right. And that is the thing, is like, I am a one-man show.
Literally.
So
it is you, it's your suite, it's you booking, it's you paying, it's you ordering, hair care, it's you ordering color, it's you going to the beauty supply, it's you doing everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I have like 90.
Stop it. Text messages? Stop.
I'm turning into that person. I hate it.
You need a virtual assistant. We'll get you one.
Right.
Yeah.
that would be great.
Let me just pay for that real quick, along with my 3 children. So speaking of children,
yes.
You recently lost somebody very special to you.
Yes, I did. I lost my mother this past December, and like I think everybody would say, I mean, she was like the best mom, and I mean, just such a tremendous loss. And it's one of those things that I still, and I mean, you 2 years later with your dad, I don't know if you still feel this way, but there's still times where I think I'm going to call her, or I think,
you're like, hold on, I call her right now.
Yeah. Or like, I can't wait to tell my mom about this, especially like things that the kids do, things like that. So like maybe nine times out of 10, I know that that's not possible.
Yeah.
But there's that one time you have that hope, and yes.
And then you can't.
Yes.
And then it fucking sucks.
Yes. And it's just
so hard.
Yeah. And it's you cannot understand it until, nor would you want to, right?
No, of course not. This is like the worst club ever.
I mean, even, exactly.
Yeah.
It's
literally
inevitably the club, nobody makes it out alive.
No.
Right? Inevitably.
And you'll join the club at some time.
Right.
But
And
it still sucks. And
I think that your entire life, you kind of prepare yourself, like it's the,
I know. But there's no way to really prepare yourself, because even if you know it's coming, like in my case, I knew it was coming, but I was also in denial.
Right.
And then like in your case, like you knew that she was not doing very well, but you had no idea that this was coming.
Right.
Not a clue.
Right.
And then it just happens.
Yes.
And you're like, holy shit, I didn't plan for this.
Right. But there's no time that you could ever be prepared to lose a parent. There's not. And it's the thing that you dread your entire life, and then you spend the rest of your life thinking about it. And just, there's so many things now that I think about me bitching to you about, like things about my mom, and
of course,
looking back now, I'm like, man, hats off to you to show me grace and not be like, Amanda. Because you don't want to be that person. You really don't with your friends. You never want to be that person. But at the same time, there are times where I want to be like, you don't get to fight with them forever.
Well, and I mean, if we're being honest, like you could probably do that with me. Like how strained that relationship is. Right. And like now that I only have one parent, and that relationship is not, super solid. Like, of course you could look at me or, talk to me in one of our mini sessions and be like, get your shit together. Like she's not going to be here forever. But it's also like with everything involved, same as when your mom was here, like with everything involved and with everything that happens, just because that person will not be here forever doesn't invalidate the experiences that you're having right now.
Right.
And it's like, we can always look back and wish that things were going to be different. Like, I cannot tell you how many like conversations I wish I would have had, or how many conversations I wish I wouldn't have had, or how many times I wish I would have just shut the fuck up and listened to him play guitar. Like what I would give to just listen to that.
Right.
Because he would just riff for like hours. And like, I used to be so annoyed because I'm like, God, it's so loud. Like, I hate that song. Oh my God, how many times are you going to play 80s freaking classic rock, And like,
and now you're like, I would
please,
give
anything.
Yes.
And I was, it's so funny because no matter where you go or what you do, there will always be a time where you're going to be reminded of them. It's just like the grief analogy, the button in the box or whatever it's called, or the ball in the box. And it's like, I was in Guitar Center, and a dream of my mom's, whenever my dad died or whenever she was with my dad, she was like, I always wanted to buy your dad a left-handed Gibson Les Paul guitar. And like looking back now, that's not that much money considering that my dad is like no longer alive. And I'm like, yeah, why didn't I do that? Or like all these other things that I wanted to do when he was alive, or like all the places that we wanted to go. Like he really wanted to go to Europe and show me like where I was born. And I was just so wrapped up in my day to day and so concerned about all the things that I thought I had to do. And it was just like,
oh my gosh.
I know. That's why it's like, I don't know about you, but like now I'm just like, no, like every single day, I tell everybody that's important to me, my children, right? Like my husband, everybody that's important to me, I tell them I love you multiple times a day. Like, and I make sure that like, no matter what, you guys know how I feel about you. And same for my friends. Like anytime I leave my friends or I don't see my friends, like I'm always like, I love you. Like if you need anything from me, let me know. You can always call me, text me, whatever. Like,
yes, you're the number one I love you friend for sure.
For sure.
I always know your love for me.
I love everyone.
Yes,
well,
you
I love
do.
most people.
Yeah, no, but I also don't think that
the hair is hairing right now. Oh. I'm so jealous because your hair is great with the headphones.
You.
So annoying.
But I also, at the same token, I don't think that because you know what it's like to lose a parent that you should accept like toxic behavior from anybody,
Right.
especially when you're trying to raise your daughter in a manner where you want to show her how to appropriately be treated and how to treat other people. And so I respect that as well. So, I mean, right. It's
a fine line, man. It's a dance.
Right. It's such a gray area, but there's so many times where, and I know you did, and I know other people told me, but you can only hear things when you want to, but you know, like let the petty shit go. Like,
for sure.
Your parents are going to be parents. They're going to say like, oh, I don't know how you made it this long, or, you know.
They really never want to let you grow up either.
Really. And I think with the boomers.
You know, when you were in high school, you used to be so messy. Right. I'm almost 40 now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this.
Yes. Yes. But, yeah, it's.
I know. So tough.
No, and it's totally like, what, Spider-Man, what's his name?
Peter Parker.
Yeah, but the kid that he's lost his mom, how he's
the kid that lost his mom.
That interview we really like of his where he's
Andrew Garfield.
Yes. I could not think of his name.
Yes. That one was so perfect.
Right. Whether you're 6, 16, 99, like you will never have enough time.
Never.
And
every time you cry, it's just, what did he say? It's like all the love you didn't get to give.
Expressed. Yes. Yes. And so.
And you're like,
yeah. No, and like.
Every single time.
And I think that something that's hard to understand is that it truly is like a wave. And you really get pulled under with grief and you feel like you're just suffocating, couldn't come in like no end.
There's like no better way to put it.
And it's crazy because our minds are so strong that all of a sudden when you think that like you couldn't get any deeper, it's
like, bitch,
distracts
I'm pull you down further.
Yeah, but then your mind will be like, wait, look over there.
Right.
And then you like kind of come up and like can
especially
breathe
when
again.
it's like your own kids.
Yeah.
Like when your own kids are like, Mom.
Yes.
And then they see you crying and then they're like, I don't know about you, but I just at a certain point, because I had lost so many family members in a row. Like first it was my grandma, then it was my dad, then it was my paternal grandfather, my maternal grandfather, and then my stepdad. So it was like after all those people, I was just like, at this point, there's no holding this shit in. Like, there's no faking it. There's no not crying in front of my kid. So I just expressed to her when I would see something, like every time I go into a room, there's a picture of my dad and her on like her dresser. And
I love that.
Me too. It was so sweet.
Yes.
You know who made it for me?
Who?
Laura.
She's a sweet girl.
It was so nice. Like, that was so nice.
She's so sweet.
Next level nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She sent that to me, and then I put it in Chloe's room, and like every time I see it, sometimes I cry, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I say, oh, I miss Papa or whatever, and she'll watch me. I know she watches me to see like, is Mom gonna cry? Is she not gonna cry or whatever? Like gauge where my feelings are at. But even when I did cry, I was just like, it's okay to cry. Like, it's okay to miss them.
Yes.
It's okay to like let that go or whatever, because what am I going to teach her? Hold it in?
Right.
Suck it up?
And it's inevitable that like
it's going to come
out. Well, and like you're going to deal with death at some point, and it's just,
I know.
You kind of will react like how you see your parents.
Exactly.
You know, and I think that's like the best we can do, right?
I know.
Is show them like I'm human. I
also am going to lose my shit sometime.
Yeah.
I'm going to cry. I'm going to be sad.
Yes.
I'm going to heal.
Yeah, no, like we're not robots, which
soon we will be. No, thank you, Elon.
I always joke that I thought my mom had some type of playbook.
Oh, for sure.
And like it had all the right answers. And
now you're like, Mom, where's that at? Do you want to just show me a sign?
Yeah.
Feel free to send that to me whenever you get a minute.
Literally.
Because you're like, we're just winging it out here. We don't know what the fuck we're doing.
But also, too, it kind of, like, you'll realize, like, when Chloe gets older, like, how much, like, you did protect her and, like, she didn't know, like, maybe you were struggling to just keep it together. But like the first time I really think that I like experienced real depression, and I would like tell my mom how deep in it I was.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, you're gonna have to figure it out. Like we have like a long line of it, and you know, like I've dealt with it my whole life, and I was like, what?
I'm sorry, what?
When?
Since when?
Yeah. And she was like,
you're like, what age? She's like, my whole life.
Yeah. She was like, there would be times where like I would lock myself in the room type situation and just, you know, like be depressed or,
you're like,
you know, whatever. And
Yvette?
Yvette, yes. And
no way.
yeah, because like we literally thought she worked for the CIA or something, you know? And so...
She's like the world's smartest woman. What are you talking about?
Right. So you can imagine my surprise to find out there wasn't some type of playbook that
something,
you know, she had. So, yeah, even when you're really good at it, you still, but I mean, I was like, hats off to you because I never would have known. But also that shows you how when you're a kid, you're absorbed in your own world too.
Which how nice. What a privilege that you just got to be absorbed in your own world. That's what I told. That's what I like ultimately that's what I want for my children. Obviously, it is imperative to teach them things along the way, but like it's funny cuz I was telling somebody like a story today and I was like, I grew up so cognizant of the things that we didn't have growing up, like we were so poor.
Right.
That I was just like, I'll say lower middle class. Okay. We weren't poor, but sometimes we were on food stamps. But like I'd never want my child to feel the way that I have felt multiple times in my life, especially as a child. I never want to have to utter the words like, I can't afford that to my child.
Right.
Now, teaching them priorities.
Within reason.
Right. Like she tried to tell me today, which she has Crocs that her dad bought her. And she's like, Mom, I need another Cocomelon charm because mine fell off. And I was like, not the one, not me.
Take that petty shit.
Yeah,
elsewhere.
take that shit elsewhere. And also, what? You lost it, so I have to replace it? No. You want to clean the grout lines on the floor in my kitchen? Sure. You might work up $10 to get a Cocomelon charm.
Yeah.
but it's like things like that. Like, no. And she literally said, like, 10 seconds after she said, I'll just ask Dad anyway. I was like, that's a good idea.
Good.
Go right ahead.
Chloe, know how to play your cards.
Go ahead, champ.
Yeah.
You
Learn how to play those
You can ask your dad who bought you those Crocs in the first place. Okay, thank you.
She can always ask, and you can always go to Dad too. Right.
But yeah, I mean, teaching her how to grieve, teaching her like what loss looks like. Her Nana now, her dad's mom, got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. So she just had to shave her head, and she's losing her hair, and like that whole thing, and like. For her to see that now, because my dad, you know, it was 3 years ago, on May 10th.
So she was 7.
Yeah,
or 7?
6.
Okay.
Yeah. So she'll be 10 this year, and like seeing that and knowing where she's at developmentally, like that'll be a different process for her if her Nana is to pass away from this disease.
Right.
Which my dad did. So it's just like, you know, teaching her that everything is okay, but also giving her permission for like, excuse me, when Nana cut her hair off, or shaved her head, the first word out of Chloe's mouth was like, well, did my grandpa shave his head too to be a good husband for Nana? And I was like, no, he didn't, but that's very sweet. But going through that for her, like, and seeing that whole thing is just, like, it's going to be different now, but allowing her to see Nana losing her hair too, like, because that's a big deal. I don't want to force her into seeing her Nana without hair or like with a hat on or something or whatever, like until she's ready. And she told me, she was like, hey, I'm ready to go see her now. Like, I'm ready to go do that. So I'm like, all right, let's go. And she lives on our street. Like,
oh, wow.
We're that close. Yeah.
Okay.
So like when we ride our bikes or go on a walk or something, we see Nana's house. Right. But yeah, I know, man, it's so tough.
So hard.
And it's so hard because once you start losing family members like that, like I had so many people reach out to me, like Jenna from high school. What was her maiden name? I can't remember.
I don't either, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her last name now is Wilson, but we we went to high school with her. She lost both of her parents in like 3 years. I mean, even just losing one of mine makes me feel like a tree with no roots. Like, I just feel so, not like without a foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Mother's Day coming up.
Oh.
And I know for you,
It's okay.
that it has another, it's like a double whammy. But I'm going through all the firsts this year, and
It's not easy.
no.
Right.
And
Just do whatever it is that you have to do for you. Like, if that's, talking to her, or even buying her a card, or doing the things that she liked to do on Mother's Day or on her birthday, or things that she liked, or like her favorite foods or her favorite drinks, like all of those things in celebration of her.
Right.
I remember when Dad died, it was the first year after Dad died. He died on May 10th, and I took the day off work. I went to go see my stepmom. We just spent the day together. And a lot of people thought that was weird. A lot of men thought that was weird. And I was like, nobody gets to tell you how to grieve. Nobody gets to tell you how to process, especially when you lose a parent.
Right.
And it's funny because the people who thought it was weird hadn't lost a parent. So I'm like, call me, bro, when you do. Yeah. It was a great day, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess like the thing about it is when you lose a parent, there's all these little things that seem so insignificant. Like
Everything.
Yes.
Everything.
There are times at Target or Marshall's or anytime shopping where I see a mom and a daughter together, and I just want to lose it. And it's like, I don't want to say like take advantage or whatever, but like you just don't know when like the last time you get to do those things. And just where the places you even used to sit and talk to them.
Or calling them in the car.
In transit is always difficult for me. That's when a lot of my stuff comes over me, because I'm like, oh, this is normally when I would be catching up with my mom.
Right.
And
this is when I would call her.
Right.
Let me get my phone ready so I can call her. Oh, wait, I can't.
Yes. Yes.
I know.
Yes. Yeah. So just, dreading Mother's Day. But no, I think too, it's so hard being a parent and having eyes on you and dealing with something that like is unimaginable.
And you're raising boys, so like you're their mom, like you're the queen.
Did you see Iron Claw?
No.
Wait, the wrestling movie, the one
no, not yet.
Okay,
you told me to, but I haven't.
Oh, it's so good. But at the end, just because like being raised by boomers and whatever, and with boys, like the whole stigma, like you can't cry.
Yes,
like,
suppress your feelings.
Right. And so they grew up like that. Like they were never good enough, can never show your emotions. Like even when his brothers passed away, Dad's like, no, cut it, no crying. And so at the end, he's sitting there watching his kids. He has two boys. They're playing football, and he's just, enjoying it, but like also tears are coming because he's thinking about what he used to play with his brothers.
Yeah.
And so his boys come up and they're like, Dad, what's wrong? Why are you crying? And he's like, I shouldn't be crying in front of you guys. And they were like, Daddy, everybody cries. And they were like, it's okay. And he was like, yeah, I was thinking about when I used to be a brother. And they were like, we'll be your brothers. And they were, it was just beautiful, beautiful. And it's one of those things. So it's like, you don't want to like them catch you cry and then, be like, oh, I'm not human. I forgot.
Oh, you mean like right now? So like me crying right now?
Yeah, no, but I mean, it is. It's just one of those things you think of, like you want your kids to be able to express their emotions.
Especially boys, dude.
Yes, because we see what that suppressed, emotion.
Listen, boomers, I've seen your work, okay? I'm not impressed.
Right.
All right? So let the boys cry if they want to cry.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. It's especially tough because when you grow up with, granted, I grew up with brothers, so like I know boys who are emotionally healthy, who do know how to cry, like who are emotionally mature. Mm-hmm. But then I also know men who were not allowed to cry, who do not have the emotional health or the emotional intelligence that, an adult needs. Mm-hmm. And that's like even more challenging.
You know who that makes me think of?
Who?
Hayden Schneider.
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember it was like probably around when your dad passed away.
Yeah.
Is that when he lost his mom?
His mom.
And he had like just posted, like even just thinking about it now, like it wrenches my heart. And I hadn't lost a parent at that time.
I know.
And it's still
and you see, but you see now how impactful it is and how what he went through, like the transformation that he went through after he lost his mom. Because before then they were like, and we're talking about Hayden Schneider, which his wife is Katie Hearn, and she's a really well-known influencer on Instagram, and they invented the company Alani Nu, which it's a supplement line, and they also have energy drinks.
They're the North Star of human beings.
of
everything.
Parenting, of business, of fitness. I mean, what else?
They're everything.
They're
April
pregnant
and I
again. They're going to have another baby. Like, all of it.
Yes.
So he lost his mom literally unexpectedly. I think she had an aneurysm or something.
Yeah.
Like she died throughout the night, and she was super healthy. They were living in Florida. I think they were living in Boca, and his parents were like their neighbors. Like, yes. So it's like she was there, he was there, like the whole thing. Yeah.
Right. Gosh.
So, when he went through that, though, they were like super showy before. Like they were, just coming up, the nouveau riche. They had all this money, and they like Cartier bracelets, like the love bracelets. They had he had all these shoes, right? Started collecting Jordans and Nikes and all this stuff. And then after his mom died, and they realized that like they were gonna move to go be near family and be closer to like his family and their kids' cousins and all that stuff. He sold all of his shoes. He sold his love bracelet. He sold everything because he was like, once you lose somebody that important to you, life really shows you what is the most important.
Oh, 1,000%.
Your children, making memories with them, prioritizing them, like everything. And I cannot tell you how much, like, losing all these family members, while it sucks, it absolutely sucks. It especially sucks because a lot of them, like my dad's dad, he was like someone that I went to a lot for like business advice and sales advice and like just all around, life advice. Yeah. And now I can't go to him.
Right.
And as you get older, you are more and more reserved with who are your close friends that you are actually honest with. You know this. You have clients all the time. Like, and you're like, I'll listen to you. I may not tell you everything, but I will listen to you because you just don't know what people could potentially use that information against you, or even not necessarily blackmail, but like use that information to their advantage. Like,
right.
Like in multiple different ways.
Yes.
So I don't know. I think the cool thing about the silver lining about losing a parent is that it really shifts life into perspective for you.
Oh yeah. I think even just the way it softened me up, I think that going forward, like, I can be a better daughter to my dad because there are just things that...
And he really doesn't have anybody but you. He has your sister, but he really has you.
Right.
And your boys.
Well, and I mean, we've talked about this, but like, I want, I want my dad to love again and, live and all that, like, find reasons to go on. But just, I feel like when you lose a parent, you really, I don't know, like it just really opens your eyes to like what you have in front of you. And also it's the weird thing, like talking about the Katie Hearn and that's also what makes me want to have like 1 million kids.
Bro, 1 million.
Because that's all you have eventually. Like, that's all you have to take care of
every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, every holiday, every birthday, everything. And then eventually they have their kids, and then they have kids. And like, how blessed are we that we have children,
right?
That we were gifted these incredible souls that now we are responsible for, and we get to raise, and we get to witness their development. Like, just next level shit, okay? And if I didn't get fat every time I got pregnant, I would have 100, okay?
Yes.
I would have 100.
It's like that TikTok I sent you the other day when they were talking about Joe Rogan saying, like, having kids just doesn't look like fun. And you're like, yeah, if you look at it from that perspective of other people's. Also, I have a 2 and 3 year old right now. So I'm in the thick of it.
How old is Hunter?
11.
11. So you have 11 and a 2 and a 3.
Yes. And so I am in the thick of it.
All boys.
You know, in 3, 4, 5 years, it won't be as heavy, and I'll be like, why did I
And then you'll be like,
should
we have another one?
Oh my
God.
DJ,
what's up? What up? What up?
In this economy.
See the way my bank account's set up. See, Kevin Hart said.
Yes, the way my bank account's
Dude, but honestly, like, even with that, like, yes, when they get older, they get expensive. But, like, do you know how many... So... Even just for my baby shower with brother, I told all of my friends. I mean, I still have your clothes in the back of my car. Like, there are so many people that I have, like, asked for hand-me-downs. Like, I got a hand-me-down car seat. I got hand-me-down baby clothes. I got a hand-me-down everything. A hand-me-down Dakota. A hand-me-down this. Hand-me-down that. Everything.
Right.
So it's just
all the things.
Yes, I have all the things. I've never wanted for anything.
Right.
Right. And, like, we have only paid for, we haven't even paid for diapers yet. We have not paid for diapers. He just turned 1.
Amazing.
And, like, of course, that's very, like, I'm very fortunate that is the case, right? But, like, if you surround yourself with good people, you have a community, you have a tribe, like, you can typically rely on your tribe. Also, that's the benefit of having kids when you're older, because everybody's already had kids.
1,000%.
And they're like, we'll give you all of our own stuff.
And they're like, I feel like when you have your first kid, you want, like, all the new stuff you don't understand. And when your second kid comes around, you're like, yes, give me the hand-me-downs. Like, I don't need to buy a $400 swing if somebody's giving me
Mama-roo, nah, never again, bro. For what? For 5 minutes?
Girl, and
so
I
use it for 5 minutes.
I know.
And our kids don't even like it.
I know. And I had one twice. Bought one twice.
She cray, bro. She cray. I love you so much.
I love you so much.
You're like my sister.
Fun. Literally.
I know.
Like,
I know.
Honestly.
And like we matched today and everything.
I love it.
Thank you so much for coming.
Hey,
I would love it if you would come back soon too. Yes. And then maybe we can get into more like more talks about hair. Yeah. I'll ask too, like on my Instagram next time you come, I'll ask like what are some common hair questions so like I can ask them for you.
I know. I meant to text you that. I was like, God, we should have like said like
Q&A.
Ask your hair. Yes.
I know.
Yeah, no.
But I feel like this was pretty good. Like we kept a pretty good flow. Yeah. And you're very PC in your responses, so I love it. You're like, I service clients of all kinds. Okay? Any budget, I can meet your needs.
Because in this economy,
I get it, man.
Nobody wants to hear a hairstylist gripe about. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, though, here's what people need to understand. And this is the same thing. Like, anybody who's tripped up about talking about money, like, that's their own thing. Like, correct. My prices are my prices are my prices. And yes, in this economy, I understand that sometimes getting your hair done is a luxury. Okay, so maybe for this year, we stick to haircuts.
Right. No. Or, maybe you get a lived-in color and you go every 6 months. You know, there's options for everybody is what
exactly.
I want to keep it
You have options.
Yes. Yes. And I absolutely love this. I can't wait to come back again.
I'm so happy that you came. Yes. Finally.
Oh my God. Right?
I know. 5 years later.
Years in the making.
5 years,
like I said.
I know.
First time caller, long time listener.
I love you. Thank you so much for listening and joining us on this episode. I am sorry that I didn't do a Q&A before so we could ask all of your commonly asked hair questions. If you have any questions or you need anything, please feel free to reach out to biggirlpantspod@gmail.com. And thank you. Bye.
Bye.